So my name is Lauren Matthews and I'm a multidisciplinary artist living here on unceded Wadawurrung land in regional Victoria, Australia. I'm a PhD candidate here at Federation University in Ballarat, based at the Arts Academy, which is why you will probably hear singing as I'm giving my presentation, as my office shares a wall with a performance space. So my PhD is exploring the topic survival memories, how representing and naming incest survival could challenge taboos, influence public discourse and ideologies, and contribute to social change through the history and tenacity of materials. Sorry, I've just seen that people can't hear me.
I can online.
You can hear me?
I can hear you online. So just checking if it's something in the room there. I can see somebody typing, but it's coming through for me, at least online.
Yep, everyone can hear me online?
Interesting. It looks like we can, so I'll just...
Yes, we can hear, or I can hear you.
Okay, great. I'll keep going then. So that's my topic, which is survival memories, how representing and naming incest survival could challenge taboos, influence public discourse and ideologies, and contribute to social change through the history and tenacity of materials. I'd also like to give a content warning, as this presentation does explore themes of childhood sexual abuse and incest. Please know that I am very safe in talking about my experiences and research. I'm a survivor of childhood incest. I have very limited recollection of being a child, as I developed dissociative amnesia in order to survive. This helped me feel safe, but as an adult, I had unresolved questions. I was able to access these memories through undertaking a treatment called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, otherwise known as EMDR, and these memories are explored in my work. My practice is informed by being a victim survivor. My research explores the key themes of the conference, the different types of public that exist, a public where the incest taboo is central. My research came out of this public, and my research examines how survivors of abuse can influence public and political discourse through art, embodiment, and materiality. My practice-led research sees me create works reflecting my trauma and challenging assumptions of safety found in domestic spaces and art forms. I use images of my childhood home and photographs of myself as a child throughout my practice, where the locations of my abuse are viewed within both a sense of place and within a sense of self. This research is a direct challenge to patriarchal policy rhetoric and institutions, where bold political statements about women's personal and traumatic issues are often only exhibited to generate controversy and drive gallery numbers, which can sit separate to artistic intent rather than inform genuine social change. Survivor-led activist fine art that focuses on art and message rather than therapeutic outcomes is crucial if we're going to engage in a feminist public pedagogy that can bring forward open forms of togetherness that challenge taboos, assumptions, and patriarchal views within public policy and the arts. Discussions of gender-based trauma and sexual abuse are currently in the public consciousness with the global Me Too movement, and also here quite publicly in Australia. However, incest is often omitted. As one of society's last taboos, very few survivors disclose or receive support, leading to significant human and social costs, highlighting the need for systemic change and for research. I have first-hand experience of the silence and lack of support and awareness around incest. It took me until the age of 35 to receive help and retrieve memories. The child in this photograph is me, but I have no connection to her. Her face doesn't come into my mind when I think about my younger self. I know I am this girl, but I do not recognise her. My research provides a much needed interrogation of depictions of incest and will contribute to feminist voices against gender-based violence and childhood sexual abuse. I want to challenge the incest trope prevalent in popular culture, from kissing cousins to jokes about people in the American South. Incest is not a joke, it is a reality. But maybe society has to joke because we cannot allow ourselves to believe that incest occurs, that family homes and family members can be unsafe. Incest leads to long-term impacts for female incest survivors in particular. For example, 80% of incarcerated women in Australia are incest and abuse survivors. As well as generating a body of my own work, my research investigates how have and can artists communicate incest survival, what is the relevance of new materialism from a feminist perspective, and how can textiles be used to contribute to political and ideological change. Generations of women have utilised textiles as a medium for remembering, storytelling, domestic decoration, and renegade change-making. This continues today across the world. Quilts and embroidery are seen as symbols of warmth and love, but my journey takes them on a different journey. Textiles are all around us: a warm blanket, a familiar tea towel, a comfortable jumper, a flag. Textiles are ever present here where I am in Ballarat, home of one of Australia's most important textiles, the Eureka flag, a symbol of solidarity and a unifying call to action to demand social change. Feminism is central to my research and artistic practice. Methodologically, I'm a practice-led researcher informed by feminist standpoint theory, producing research outcomes for women, not simply about women. I interrogate relevant conceptual frameworks, focusing on feminism, trauma and incest research, and new materialism, along with textiles. Within a visual arts context, I examine the work of feminist artists and activists whose work duly documents survival while also demonstrating and generating change. This includes the suffragette movement, the coded quilts of the Underground Railroad quilters, artist survivors such as Tracy Emin and Cara Walker and Mary Oliver, along with the contemporary craftivist movement. Through a feminist lens, I examine how textiles can be a vehicle for remembering, memorialising and agitating, while new materialism removes the hierarchy between artists and materials, leaving the work and the viewer and the subsequent outcomes that this interaction can derive. My artistic interventions concern domestic scenes and domestic artistic techniques. My nondescript suburban childhood home is appearing frequently in my current body of work. There are so many contradictions around the concept of home. It is a site of safety and comfort for many, but a loci of abuse for many others. Distorted images and traditional motifs accompanied by childhood photographs, absent memories and text are captured in my textile works, evoking the tradition of embroidery samplers and quilts, methods originally used by women to develop proficiencies, share stories and generate change, united together around a table or behind a placard. This research allows me to release frustration and transfer private pain into the public sphere. It moves the taboo subject matter from private spaces, locked rooms and silent voices to a visceral scream, a push and pull between perpetrator and survivor. I create my work to generate discussion and ultimately social change. Thank you very much.